What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Wladimir Klitschko. Wladimir Klitschko backs Tyson Fury to beat Deontay Wilder on points. And this is what he had to say personally. He says, I wish that actually Fury, believe it or not, might make it. Might not. But I wish he is going to make it. He said, and then there's supposed to be a rematch between me and Fury. He says, I'm announcing now I'm announcing now a comeback. No, I'm not. Okay. He says, mark my words, I'm not announcing a rematch. He said, one more time, there's no plans to come back. And he was asked if Anthony Joshua should fight the winner. And Wladimir Klitschko said, absolutely. Anthony is there. He bounced back. He's going to get better through the negative experiences with Ruiz. And we'll see. By the end of the year, we might have a unified champion with all the belts. He says, styles make fights exciting or not, he said. Joshua is a superior athlete, great fighter, and Olympic champion. Most importantly, he's a great guy who carries the torch of this image perfectly. I'm proud to call him a friend, even though we were combatants, right? And I wish that eventually Joshua is going to unify all the belts. That's the eventual plan. But until then, there's going to be some bumps on the road. So let's just lean back and enjoy it. Those are the words of Wladimir Klitschko. Now, I read this article, and Klitschko gave his educated guess. You know, he thinks that Fury can beat Wilder on points. And the funny thing about it, no one, except Javon Hill, John Fury, they're predicting a knockout. No one else is. Everyone is saying he can do it on points. Now, I know why Wladimir Klitschko said that, because Wladimir has been in the ring with Tyson Fury, and he knows what he's capable of doing. And we've also witnessed that Tyson Fury, regardless of his pillow punching, was able to go 12 rounds with Deontay Wilder and not get knocked out. Nearly, but not get knocked out. And buckle Deontay Wilder despite being labeled as pillow fist. Okay? So Klitschko knows Fury. Fury knows Wilder. Now, I'm coming in to knock you out, that could be dangerous. That could be the wrong game plan. But it is what it is. Klitschko does know that Tyson Fury has the capability of outboxing Deontay 12 rounds. He just needs to stay focused. He just needs to stay focused and with the right game plan. Because one thing about Deontay Wilder, you might not like him or whatever the case is, his facade, his attitude or whatever. What he said was true. It only takes really 1 second. It don't take 2 seconds to throw a punch. But I knew what he meant. He meant, hey, all it takes is that one punch that I know that I have, right? And that's that. I could end the fight like that. But you have to be focused at all times facing Deontay Wilder. Now, the funny thing about this is the terms he used, backed, okay? He's actually he's backing Tyson Fury on points, you know? And then he mentions Joshua, the guy that no one ever talks about no more. But he mentions Joshua, and he thinks that Joshua would end up with all the belts. That's funny, because this article was originally about his thoughts on Wilder and Fury. Okay, now, of course, he was asked that, hey, who do you think should Joshua fight the winner? Because this is really what this is about. Honestly, it would make it more intriguing if this was a World Boxing Super Series. That, to me, I think that's the best way. But Klitschko is really looking over this fight and looking at the big picture. And he's seeing Anthony Joshua beating whoever the winner is. Because automatically you think about it. If he's backing Tyson Fury to beat Deontay Wilder, and then he's backing Joshua to fight the winner and become the unified champion, and also that's who he wants to carry the torch. Why? Because Anthony Joshua and Wladimir Klitschko jail. I get it. So on this note, Wladimir Klitschko knows what he likes to, and he likes the image of the heavyweight champion, and he wants it to be Joshua. You know, now it's one of these things. What it's not what a person says. A lot of times is what a person doesn't say. The question you ask yourself, well, what's wrong with Deontay Wilder? You know what I mean? Like, he didn't mention that at all. He just put it with, hey, I like him. He's a friend. You know, he's a great person, and I hope he makes it. You know, fair enough. But then he's had his own relationship with Deontay Wilder when he brought him over to his camp and they sparred together or whatever. Deontay Wilder claims it was one time. Sources say it was more than one time. You know, but my question is, why does Wladimir Klitschko omit Deontay Wilder? He doesn't even look at him in the equation. I thought that was weird. And really, if I'm Deontay Wilder, I would really be upset about that. But, you know, of course, Deontay really doesn't talk a lot about Wladimir Klitschko. But fair enough, he's not even in the picture no more. But he was once the king, the reigning king for the longest, until both of these guys that he was referring to, you know, took him out of that equation. And I'm talking about Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. Now, him wishing and backing Fury and Joshua, Fury in this fight and Joshua in, you know, at the end of the equation, it just lets me know, like, well, what is Wilder doing wrong? Why doesn't Wladimir look or view Wilder as that guy? You know, so I just thought that was real weird, you know, for him to just back Joshua. I know he's a friend and things of that nature, and he's been in the ring with him. He's been in the ring with Tyson Fury too. But this article really turned into Joshua and his desires for Joshua to be unified or undisputed, right? Which is unified. So I just thought it was weird that he would omit Deontay Wilder out of this, because again, all it takes is one punch. Now I'm scanning through this article, and he says, believe it or not, might make it, might not. You know, either Wilder is going to knock out Fury or Fury is going to win on points. Okay. But he backs Fury, you know, so either way, he's looking, or he's hoping or backing or wishing that Tyson Fury would beat Wilder, and then Joshua ends up beating Fury. You know, so Wilder, according to Wladimir Klitschko, is still at the bottom, according to Klitschko. Now, the last thing we heard about Klitschko, when in his thoughts on Wilder, he wanted Wilder to fight better opposition. Well, Wilder's doing that. Wilder's fighting better opposition. You know, he's fighting Tyson Fury. You know, so I think it's one of those things where it's a respect, it's something that Wladimir, I don't think, really has for Deontay Wilder like that. I think he's looking at him as like the weakest link, despite the power. Us Americans over here, we gravitate towards knockouts and reels and stuff like that. Yes, it looks good, but until he knocks out these other guys, it doesn't mean much. It's just a reel from guys that he's knocked out that we don't really know of. The only thing we know about them and what they have in common, they've all been knocked out by Deontay Wilder, but who were they before that? So I think that's what Wladimir Klitschko's hinting around at, you know, without really saying anything, you know, because again, they never fought, and Wilder was considered like a lower tier champion at the time, you know, and he was the guy that was the man, you know. Well, obviously, I think Wladimir Klitschko is backing Fury and Wladimir is backing Fury and Joshua simply because he's been in the ring with him, and he feels that because they beat him, they have better chances to beating Deontay. But anyway, that's my thoughts on it. You guys tell me what you think about Wladimir Klitschko's prediction. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.